brought it over here.
You sure you don't have it?
I'm sure I don't have it.
Hello everyone, Kyle Abbott. Today we're making progress on getting the shamisen done. Primarily the Tenjin, the headpiece. This is the original block that it's made from. The thickest part of the Tenjin is 2.5 inches. And this is 2.25 inches, just too small. And every time I've done it in the past, I glue the two big blocks together. And after it's dried, I shape it all the way, which takes many hours and everything. And this time I thought, why don't I carve the pieces first and then glue them together? Turns out, saved enormous amounts of time, and it just turned out better and nicer and all that. So, we learn something new every day. So, we got this all carved and cut out the joint here, the tenon, and we're working on fitting it together. And it's almost ready, like so. One thing I learned in Japan is to make the joint as a dovetail. Making it as a dovetail helps lock it in during the gluing process to keep it in place. If there wasn't a dovetail, it would just fall out like so, but that's pretty cool. It's 2 weeks later. The Tenjin has been glued to the saw, and most recently, the zagane, which are the metal fittings that go into the Itomaki holes, have been made and installed. Now it's time to make the Itomaki, which are the tuning pegs. I've always liked the Itomaki, which are pure white, because white is a royal color. Right, Papa? Right, white is a royal color.
Yeah. Well, blue is royal.
Oh.
White? Purity.
Purity, right. White.
Pure white. Purity.
And because I'm hopefully going to become a saint in the near future, I'd want to make white Itomaki. On my first shamisen, I tried it out by using very light colored wood, like this. Very cool for a while. And I guess my standards increased, and I wanted to get even whiter, so I realized plastic or synthetic material was the way to do it. But whenever I looked online, I just searched for pen blanks, the blanks, for doing pen turning and all that stuff. And those were always just a little too short and a little too thin. So what was the next thing I did? On my next shamisen, I got ebony wood and painted the handle with acrylic paint. And I'm still happy with it, it worked. But within the year, I thought, why not look for something other than pen blanks? Almost instantly, I found this, which is a white acetal rod, 1.25 inches, thick enough for Tsugaru Itomaki. Easy to work with and very, very hard. I used to, for fun, I spin it like that, and it accidentally bumped my leg very lightly, but hurt a lot. So it's light, but packs a big punch. So, bottom line to that story is I'm not very rigorous when it comes to researching things. Anywho, down to the shop I go. Let's make some Itomaki. So one piece has been cut out for one Itomaki. And this is the template for the shape of the base of it. So I have to get it the same position on both sides. To do that, I'm going to clamp this down here, this which is flat block. Good enough, stay. And just have a little piece. Put that right there. There we go. Now we have a place where we can draw the template. Alright, now it's all ready to shave down. Time to hit the grinder. As you'll soon see, this will become very necessary. as well as eye protection. Alright. Now the next step is tapering it down. Like that. And you can read about the right dimensions and how to do that in Shamisen in Japan.
Okay.
Alright. Okay. Got one Itomaki blank done. Just need 2 more of those, and we'll put them into the shamisen. I'll make them using the same way. Some people have asked, they wonder if they can take a Itomaki from another shamisen and stick them in their shamisen. But this is what has to be done. Each peg, each Itomaki is individually fitted in to these holes, done by a professional, or at least someone with a file, in my case. So, to answer your question, this is what happens for every Itomaki. Okay. And there we go. So, the final thing to do would be to smooth out the kind of burned areas in the plastic. Get them shiny, because this is the normal style of Itomaki, hexagonal shape. However, I kid you not, my middle name is actually Fancy. So, that's what I'm going to do to these. Check back in a moment. Well, what can I say? I've always been a little starstruck. Yeah. Well, okay, so that's done. Next thing is making the little buzzy thing called the Yazuma Sawari, and skinning and a few other things. Hopefully I can get it done in a month. On the subject of construction-like things, a person on YouTube asked what were the most common mistakes shamisen makers make. And I can only go from my own experience. And what I can say is the top 3 things to remember when making it is 1, take your time. Never rush it in the thought of, oh, I gotta get this done quickly, unless you're like having a factory line of shamisen, in which case, send me a message, please. Take your time. Then, if you're frustrated, always stop, because once emotions get riled up and like, oh, you break off a bigger piece and you try to fix it. That happened to me many times, and it got worse, and fortunately just a lot of filler fixed it, but not good. Third thing, to correct those issues, when you're tracing out the pieces on your wood that you're going to cut out, leave a decent amount of wiggle room, a decent amount of extra wood. Padding. I usually leave like 2 millimeters on every side, and by the time I'm done sanding or making little gouges or whatever, it ends up getting about the same size, shape as the template I'm using. So the 3 rules. And hopefully you'll have something decent-ish. And if you don't, it'll still be very good because you made it yourself, and that's all that matters, truly.
And the next one will be better.
And the next one will be different.
Probably better. On average.
Maybe though, Pablo, say about your first shakuhachi that you made.
That's the best one ever. It's
You made in Japan. You were making
Yeah.
shakuhachi.
repairing them and learning how, so I was just kind of dealing with them in parts. But the first one I actually made, start to finish, was the best one.
And everyone you made after that just didn't quite come up
Some
to-
were nearly as good, and then the long one I like the long one downstairs, but the first one is the best one.
Yeah.
Beginner's luck.
Beginner's luck, so potentially your first one may be good. And
That's right.
If you like it, then you should just
Be
quit.
careful then.
Yeah. Quit and start something new. Or play it. Okay.